To make sure that we're going to have no printing problems, we need to take advantage of our live pre-flight in InDesign CS4. And that's what is down here. Currently it says no errors. It's always nice to see. But in fact, we have not been very rigorously pre-flighting this. We are going to come to the pre-flight panel. In fact, before we do that, we're going to choose Define Profiles. And the basic profile is currently being used, and the basic profile is a bit more forgiving, a bit less rigorous than we would like. I have made myself a second profile, Magazine, and I'm just going to run you through the settings that I am using for this. So in order to make a profile, you simply click on the plus symbol and then define whatever parameters you want. These are the ones that I've chosen. So links, we want to be notified of any links that are missing. Color, we want to be notified if there is a problem with the transparency blending space. It's highly unlikely, but it is possible that someone could have chosen RGB as the transparency blending space. We only want to allow CMYK colors, so spot colors not allowed. RGB colors, they are going to get converted to CMYK using the color profiles in our PDF export, so we don't particularly need to worry about those. But we do want to be notified of any spot colors that may be in here. Any overprinting or any registration that may have been inadvertently applied, because that wouldn't have been applied purposefully. That would have been a mistake. And again, it's highly unlikely that that's going to have happened, but you never know. Someone could be playing a nasty trick on you. Images and objects. Image resolution. Now, we're working with images that to some extent are comping images. These aren't really of magazine quality, but they're just for kind of training purposes. So I've set this threshold number lower than it would be in the real world. In the real world, this would be 300 pixels per inch, maybe slightly less, maybe as low as 240, maybe slightly more, maybe as high as 350. But typically, both the color image and the grayscale image minimum resolution would be 300. And for the 1-bit image, that would probably be about 1200. But that's not really relevant for us since we don't have any, and it's unlikely that we would have. We want to be notified of any non-proportional scaling of images, and we also want to be notified of anything that is below our minimum stroke weight, and we can say what we want that to be. I've got that at 0.125 of a point. I know for a fact I'm not using anything less than 0.5. Bleed or trim hazard, anything that gets too close to the edge, and you can say how close is too close. In this case, I'm saying 9 points. Check for objects near spine. No, because we are intentionally putting objects near the spine and over the spine, as is the case with this image here, which crosses over the spine. So that's not going to be of any use to us. Overset text, definitely. We want to know if there's any overmatter so that we don't, by error, print out the document with missing text. We want to know if there's any fonts missing. Paragraph style and character style overrides, that's just a bit too uptight because, you know, we've had to make some overrides and that's not always a bad thing. So, no, we don't want that one checked. Glyphs missing? No. Font type's not allowed? No. Non-proportional type scaling, well, yes, we'll have that on. I make a point of always scaling my type proportionally. And by the way, I mean, if any of these things do get flagged, we can check what the nature of the problem is, and we can always choose to ignore it. It's not like if there is a bit of non-proportional type scaling in there that it's not going to necessarily set any alarms off. It's just going to warn us of that fact. Bleed and slug, yes, we want to have a bleed. We want to make sure that we're using that bleed, that it goes to a minimum of 9 points, and that's it. So that's my magazine pre-flight profile. I'm now going to click OK, or if I'd made any changes, click Save. I think I did make a change, so I'll just click Save. Then click OK, and now I want to actually turn that one on. So I'm going to come to Pre-Flight Panel, and from the Profile drop-down menu, I'll choose Magazine, and then turn that off. And when I do so, I've got 4 errors. So let's see what those errors are. Images and objects. Okay, let me know. I've got bleed or trim hazards. Am I worried about this? Let's just go take a look what they are. Page 46. I guess I've just got things closer than 9 points to the edge. I'm not worried about it. Thanks for telling me, but that's okay. No, and there again on the master page. So that is the live pre-flight. Just keep a watchful eye on any errors that may be flagged and take appropriate action.